is time for action, and it is time to start our Queen of Sparta tournament. It's a 125-pound ladies tournament. There's 8 fighters tonight. We'll start with boxing. Winner moves on to kickboxing, and the winner of that will fight for $10,000 MMA style in the cage later tonight. But we start with a quarterfinal matchup. Let's meet the fighters. First, fighting out of the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner, please make welcome Shannon Sinn.
I'm not sure how the sound is coming through for our viewers, but Shannon Sinn has brought a huge contingent of fans here this evening, and they are letting her know. She is one of Colorado's more popular and I will say standout fighters. She's had a couple of stints in Invicta, something our current Queen of Sparta knows about.
Yes.
Having traveled to Kansas, is that where they always do? This one was in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
Okay, so
yeah, it was fun.
Saw both trees in that state.
Yes, all 2 of them.
So this does take place in the professional division, 125 pounds, and the fighters are wearing 8-ounce gloves. You have to win a boxing match. Then you go on and win a kickboxing match. If you make it through that, then it's into the cage for MMA, and we're checking out the tail of the tape here. Shannon Sinn ringside now, about to jump into the ring. Her opponent, Selina Valdez, just a couple years older, same height. Of course, they had to come in the same weight.
Yep.
Sinn from what I would call an MMA background versus Valdez, who comes from more of a striking background. Pro debut for Selina Valdez as far as boxing and kickboxing.
And now,
0-1
fighting
in MMA.
out of the blue corner, shooting center blue corner, please make welcome Selina the Boss Valdez.
And what I will say really stands out on that tail of the tape, the 5-6 record of Shannon Sinn in MMA versus the 0-1. So just that experience advantage.
Absolutely.
You and I, Catherine, spoke a little bit earlier, and you were talking about the injuries that you'd sustained, some of the pain that you had to deal with in the cage, some of the submission situations you were put in.
Yes.
It's experience to get out of those, and that really pays off, and it's, you know,
calmness.
It's
Calmness,
yep.
knowing what you're going to do next. Absolutely. Here they come.
Knowing that you've been there.
Yes.
And that you got out of it before, or I didn't get out of this last time, what do I need to do different?
Absolutely, absolutely. Stop getting in arm bars is probably the first way to go.
One of us
That's
was
probably
going
the
to say
first
it.
start.
How funny. That's fantastic. Were this to be purely an MMA fight, I'd have to give advantage to Sinn.
Absolutely.
Coming from a freestyle background versus just a striking background. But here we are in pure striking.
It is boxing.
And so we're going to have to say possibly that plays in the favor of Valdez.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Fight number 1 of the evening is presented by Dynamic Mortgage Concepts. It's now time to meet the ladies. First, fighting out of the Dynamic Mortgage Concepts red corner, from Grinders Submission Fighting from Brighton, Colorado, please make welcome Shannon Sinn. And now, fighting out of the blue corner, shooting center blue corner, from On Point Striking in Pueblo, Colorado, please make welcome Selina the Boss Valdez. This opening round Queen of Sparta tournament matchup is scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds. Referee is Tom Johnson.
All right, ladies, we went over the rules earlier. I want a clean,
So
fair
it's the
fight.
grinder
We
submission
need all guys to
fighter
protect yourself at all
Shannon
times.
Sinn,
Don't touch gloves and get
wearing
after
the
it.
primarily
Thank you.
red gear, facing off against the on-point striker fighter from Pueblo, Miss Selina Valdez. She's wearing the blue top this evening. Referee Tom Johnson looking good in black as always, third in the ring. And we are off with punchy action,
Punchy.
Queen of Sparta 70. And boy, these
They are
two are
going.
wasting no
There
time.
is no feel out at all. Very nice.
Valdez willing to just plant her feet, but what I'm seeing almost immediately is Valdez has her chin almost straight up, whereas Sinn's coming in a little more shoulders forward, crunched at the waist,
Absolutely.
protecting her head just by virtue of her stance a little bit. Obviously, conditioning going to be a factor.
Absolutely.
Not only just because we're in a 3-round boxing fight, but then
There's more
if
to
you
go.
win this, there's a lot,
There's
more,
a lot
to
more
go.
to go.
Sinn doing a nice job mixing her strike level.
Yes,
not
head
going,
body, head body.
Yeah, not just being a headhunter.
Her reach, too, is gorgeous. There it is.
Looked down and came over the
Coming
top.
right over the top with that cross.
Classic technique. Valdez a little higher with her guard, a little lower with her chin now, but she takes another hard left hand from Sinn. Less than 30 seconds left in round one. I can hear the corner of Sinn, and they're asking her, please work the body.
She did.
Ten-second clacker sounded. Looks like we're going to end the round the same way we started it. Feet planted toe to toe, both of them throwing hard.
Yes. Very nice.
Sparta Combat League is presented by Jiffy Lube of Loveland. Jiffy Lubes help keep your vehicle on the road.
If you're in the corner of Valdez, what are you saying to her as a coach?
Ankles more, a little bit more head movement. Not being right in the same spot. I feel like that right cross keeps coming over because her head isn't moving. It's staying right where it's at.
A little boxing
So,
101.
yeah.
Move your feet, move your head.
Move around a little more.
And conversely, if you're in the corner for Sinn, she had a good first round. Are you telling her to change anything? Was there any
I would
tactics or strategies or more of the same?
I'd stay at what she's doing. Keep it up. High volume, too. Absolutely.
Both fighters looking pretty calm, definitely very conditioned. Valdez not even taking the stool between rounds, and they come out and
Same pace.
both give each other a hard shot to sort of stop their forward momentum. What I'm liking from Sinn right now is doing a really good job of using her lead hand. And of course, everybody says everything comes off the jab, but she's not using her lead hand only as a jabbing tool. She's using it to set up different techniques, different angles, different strikes. And Valdez starting to show the wear of the punches a little bit there, rocking her head back. Good job with the footwork from Sinn, stepping forward with the punches. And again, the lead hand coming in from different angles, never letting Valdez know exactly where she's going to be targeting. So from a technical standpoint, on the fly, if you're in the corner of Valdez, what are you telling her right now, Catherine?
I would tell her to get her jab cross going and her hands a little bit faster. More angles.
More angles, yep.
Gotta keep moving.
Oh, and a couple of the
Nice
best punches of the
couple.
fight
There you
for
go.
Valdez right there. You could see Sinn felt those.
She did.
And Sinn wisely immediately took it to a clinch, slowed down the action, let her tell the referee to get him back into the center of the cage and restart the action. And that's that experience that we talked about.
Absolutely, absolutely.
10-second clacker has sounded. And both these ladies just biting down on their
Combat League's
mouthpieces
Queen of
and
Sparta
throwing
tournament is
hard.
brought to you by Blue Course Shooting Center. Whether you're a beginner or want to train at an advanced level, our professional instructors can help you develop your skills at Blue Course Shooting Center.
So Valdez with a couple of her best punches of the fight right in the middle of the round, and it was exactly what you talked about. She threw the 1-2, and it was the 2 that came through and gave really positive effect for her. So quite possibly her corner folks in there telling her that. And talk us through the replay here a little bit, Catherine. There was, sorry, your mic was having a problem there for a second. Referee Tom Johnson calls them to the center for a touch of gloves, then they'll punch each other in the face. So sportsmanship, and then I plan to render you unconscious.
Look at Selina Valdez coming out.
So probably Valdez, maybe she feels it. Certainly her corner probably was in her ear saying you might be down by 2 rounds.
Absolutely.
If you want to win this, you've got to get a knockdown or a knockout. So, and boy, in a tournament this long, if she only got a knockdown and it was 10-8 and they had to go another round,
Oh, man.
that could be a little disheartening.
Man. Love that jab with that overhead.
And finally, they clinch up and take about 3 seconds to take a break, and then it's right back to it. Sinn getting a couple of good shots in. And both these fighters looking to close out the fight strong, less than a minute to go, and you can see them kind of planting their feet, biting down on the mouthpiece, throwing a little extra power in there. And I hear the corner of Sinn saying, "Don't push your punches, snap them." Tell us what they mean by that.
Power back.
And again, a little bit of a clinch, but hands are free. Referee lets him go. 10-second clacker sounded. We've seen in the last 2 rounds, they're just going to stand and plant and trade, and the crowd loves it. And looks like the judges are going to start earning their money with the first fight of the night. All right, so here we go on the replay. And again, we see Valdez with that chin up just a little bit. Sinn looking down but throwing over the top. Classic little bit of a trick technique there. Some experience coming through, but Valdez throughout almost the entirety of this fight, never willing to take a step backward. And getting the crowd pumped up for Miss Sinn. And looks like they may have got their decision going pretty quickly here. Already got Sean Patrick into the cage. And we're having some mic problems here, so I'm going to ask Catherine to give me a mic check. 1, 2 here.
Check 1, 2.
Okay, we're good now.
Are we
But
good?
not sure what's happening, but
Okay.
we're working. So,
There you
okay.
go.
All right, very good.
All right, here we
Valdez,
go.
nothing but smiles in there.
After
Look at
3
that.
rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored about 30-27, declaring your winner by unanimous decision. And moving on to the semifinals of the Queen of Sparta tournament, Shannon Sinn.
Congratulations, Shannon Sinn. Grinders Fitness Fighters gonna go into the back room with the victory. Typically, I'm saying go home with the victory, but she's
It's time
going
to
into the
eat.
back room with the victory.
Yeah, eat and sleep.
Yeah, try to replenish a little bit,
Absolutely.
and then get herself ready for a kickboxing fight.
Yeah.
I'm backstage now with Shannon Sinn, who just won the first round of the Queen of Sparta Flyweight tournament. How's it feel to get that win in your boxing match, Shannon?
It feels great to get that one under the belt. Time to focus on the next 2.
Exactly. So, Selina is typically a brawler. She comes forward with hard, aggressive strikes, and you stay pretty traditional with some orthodox style. What was your game plan to win that?
Just to try to keep technical during that. We knew that she would just be rushing forward. She's a gangster, and she fights like one. So yeah, I was just trying to keep composed during that whole 6 minutes and keep myself under control.
So now your next round will be kickboxing against either Cherie Moraski, who has a win over you in MMA, or Bielka Soto, who used to be one of your students. What do you think about either of these matchups?
I think either one is a good matchup for me. We are finally moving into my element next. Boxing is my least favorite, so like I said, it feels good to get that one under my belt and move on to something I'm more comfortable with.
So now between fights, what's your plan?
Go rest up and just relax a little bit.
Well, congratulations on your win. You did great. We'll see you next round. Good job.